Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar. 6 plays for you for Wednesday night, including some big boppers I think you need to get in your lineup. A starting pitcher with some big-time strikeout upside in his matchup. My favorite value play for you on both FanDuel and DraftKings. And, of course, my favorite play of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Wednesday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Good to be back here once again, coming off an all-star break, a little vacation, and an NBA championship for my Milwaukee Bucks last night. So riding high here, and we hope to continue that here into the baseball picks, both FanDuel and DraftKings on tap here. Thank you, as always, for hanging out in the Fantasy Bar. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, couple things. Very easy. First off, click that thumbs up button, guys. Really helps us out over on YouTube. Secondly, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos get released. And lastly, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs, guys. If you haven't checked this out yet, I encourage you to do so. The link in the description of the video. Tons of sports betting information for you. Lines across tons of different sports books. And if you don't have time to dig into the numbers, hey, that's okay. We have premium picks in every single sport as well, including golf right around the corner. NFL futures, we'll be getting those up. So tons of stuff in there. Again, click the link in the description of the video, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, split slate of games today. Obviously, we're focusing on the night slate here on Wednesday night. Weather looks okay, so let's jump into it here with our first play in the outfield. We're going with George Springer of the Blue Jays. So really been good coming off the All-Star break. We hope to do the same as George Springer's been doing here with the video. But 6 hits for him over the last 3 games and been really good against right-handed pitching this season. You see that WOBA at 376 and ISO over 300. And those numbers, despite just a 250 batting average on balls in play. So those numbers could be even better. Been a little bit unlucky here against righties. So increase those numbers a little bit here. Tells you George Springer very good against righties. Also very good against 2 of the primary pitches that Richards is going to throw. Loves to throw the fastball and the slider. 2 right-handed hitters. That accounts for about 88% of his arsenal. 497 WOBA, 513 ISO for George Springer against the fastball. Massive numbers there. Also a WOBA over 400 against the slider here. And Richards, been a little bit of a struggle against righties. 375 WOBA, along with a 51% hard contact rate. George Springer gets a very friendly matchup here tonight with Richards. Get him in those lineups. All right, let's stay in the outfield here. Let's go with a guy you maybe not be familiar with, but maybe you should. Outfielder ADOLIS GARCIA of the Rangers. I think if you polled 100 people on the streets, they might not even know who this guy is. And would they know that he is top 10 in all of baseball with 22 home runs on the season? I bet you the answer would be single digits on people that would know that. But the point is, you get a ton of power here at a nice cheap price point. Now what's happening here? Been very quiet at the plate of late, and I think that's going to keep people away. It's also helped driven the prices down here to a reasonable level on Garcia. And another guy hits righties very well here. 264 ISO for him, 357 WOBA. Very good against fastballs as well. Going to kind of sense a theme here, very much like George Springer. Numbers against fastball, both WOBA and ISO over 430 against that pitch. And Manning can use that fastball about 57% of the time on average against right-handed hitters and has struggled with righties. Obviously a limited sample here with Manning, but that sample has been bad enough that we want to include it here. WOBA approaching 450 and a hard contact rate, one of the highest numbers you're going to see at over 58%. So Texas, normally not a team that we're looking at, but Garcia in a very favorable spot here tonight against Matt Manning. All right, let's round out our outfield here. Our third pick out there with Bryce Harper of the Phillies. So as you'd expect, Harper leading the way for Philly. 309 ISO this year against righties. WOBA sitting right under 400 at 399. And you guessed it, another good fastball hitter. We know that Bryce Harper has made a living crushing fastballs and depositing them into the seats. 419 WOBA, 307 ISO against that pitch. 45% of the time is what we'll see here against Woj. And we know Woj, we haven't seen him this year, but over the last 3 seasons, lefties have given him fits. 377 WOBA, 284 ISO allowed, and that power mix we're looking for. 45% fly ball rate, 42% hard contact rate. Not good against a hitter like Bryce Harper. So a big salary here on Harper. I think he's worth it here. I think he goes yard and has a big game tonight for the Phillies and for your DFS lineups. All right, let's get you a starting pitcher here. Not many choices on the board here tonight, so we'll go down a little bit from the top guys and roll with Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals. Now, Wainwright, generally not a guy we think of when we're talking strikeouts, and that's what we want in this game, a ton of strikeouts. Well, hear me out here with Wainwright. First of all, not a team in baseball that strikes out more against right-handed pitching than the Chicago Cubs at almost 27%. You look up and down that lineup, ton of strikeouts available. Now, recent form for Wainwright, been good in that department as well. 7 or more strikeouts in 3 of his last 5 starts, including double-digit strikeout games. So he does still have that upside here. Also, been very good, flat-out dominant at home, averaging 19 DraftKings points per game. Has held hitters to just a 206 batting average. The whip under 1 at home, and been good against both righties and lefties on the season, both home and away here. Under 300 on both in the WOBA department, and an ISO under 165 to both righties and lefties. So you add it all up here. I know Wainwright, not the most exciting, flashy name on the board, but I think he gets it done for us here in a big way in this great strikeout happy matchup with the Chicago Cubs. All right, I said I'm going to give you my favorite value play. That's where we're going next. First baseman or outfield, Gavin Sheets of the White Sox. So talk about a guy that's come in and made an instant impact. That is Gavin Sheets against righties, both WOBA and ISO, over 450 for this guy. In another case where he's kind of been unlucky, that batting average on balls in play, just 250 against righties. So these numbers could both be over 500. Very impressive here for Gavin Sheets. Power switch been locked in as well. Couple home runs over the last 4 games. And we know Michael Pineda very vulnerable to power. What do we want in that department? We want an ISO. We want fly balls. We want hard contact rate. He checks all of those boxes as you see on the screen here. So Gavin Sheets, very cheap across the industry, just $3,200 on DraftKings. Going to allow you to spend up at other spots. FanDuel, a tremendous value there as well at just $2,600. Big time upside with a small time price. Get him in your lineups tonight. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Wednesday night. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Free to play. All you have to do, get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. All I need is a number. Any of the 5 guys, the highest scoring hitter there, the winner is going to win either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. My favorite play for Wednesday night, you know Maz, the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to stay right there with Chicago. Get you a little stack rolling here with shortstop Tim Anderson, tonight's Beast of the Night. Anderson been solid, righty on righty here, 368 WOBA this season, but what we really like here, those numbers are good. And I know there's some BVP truthers out there. I know there's people that hate this number, but these numbers were too good to not include here today to help our case with Tim Anderson. In his career against Michael Pineda, this guy has been absolutely dominant. 12 of 18, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. So a limited sample here, but in that limited sample, been damn good and been dominant against Pineda. Now Pineda, we talked about his struggles with lefties, not as bad against righties, but still gives up a ton of hard contact, over 45% here. So a guy like Anderson has the power, has the speed, can score fantasy points in a ton of ways, and has absolutely crushed Michael Pineda. I think he continues that trend here tonight, making Tim Anderson easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Wednesday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, please hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Don't forget, guess for fantasy points on DraftKings for any of my 5 hitters here, the highest scoring hitter for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And make sure you check out scoresandodds.com/beer. Last thing, DFS OG's back at it once again today. Head Chopper Notorious and myself talking everything in the sports world, talking life. Make sure you guys go and check out that podcast. You can find it anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, or if you want to see our smiling faces, check us out over on YouTube as well. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Guys, best of luck here tonight. We'll take tomorrow off. Be right back at it with more baseball on Friday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out in the Fantasy Bar. Good luck tonight. We'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.